Mailbag Preview Show, episode 283, joined by regular guests Jack Dickens, Rob Scurry, and Benny Said has made it back to prime time on Thursday. How you going, Benny?
Good fellas, good to be back.
Good stuff. All right. Let's have a quick look at the tips from last week.
What happened last week?
You were the only successful.
Am I winning now?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
Brave me,
Get that up there, Rob.
even though you
Look, I could have thrown in Rotara Talk.
Yes, yeah. So you are on 69%. Rob, 59%. I dropped to 39%. And Benny said we have to decide what we do with Benny, whether he starts again or.
What was I sitting on?
He was on 66%.
Starts again.
Starts again.
What am I on again? What am I on again?
69%, just ahead.
Favorite number? Favorite position. Let's go.
All right.
Get out, Stu Fauna.
All right, let's get straight into Randwick. We'll jump straight to race 7, which is the Group 1, the Spring Champion Stakes, 2,000 metres for 3-year-olds. Are we going Tom Kidden's way again, or has he done his time? Rob?
I guess. Yeah, look, I think he's the one to beat for sure. This should not be a Group 1 race. He should be demoted for sure. It's really a BM 84 at best. Ganbear, I'm not sure what happened last start, but that looks like one horse that can actually, roll on a fairly solid speed and keep going. But it's only got sort of one speed, so it's very important the first, jumping out and getting a spot. Raf Attack was good. I think Tom's the obvious one. Hippo on, he'll be keen, eager, and hungry. One to beat. I'm not sure about Tudor Beta being a 2,000 meter horse, but wouldn't surprise. I backed Port Lockroy at a Wednesday last week, and it won. But that's how good it is.
It's in Sydney market, as well. It's in Melbourne as well.
Yeah, well, that's a proper, BM 72 horse. I'll maybe still improving as a spring 3-year-old, but didn't impress me that much at all as a type. Tom Kitten for me.
Yeah.
Well, we know what all of Twitter's on. SP profile tick. Tom Kitten. Everyone backs it. Everyone backed it. Nash has lost it. Nash off, Tom on. The golden switch or the reverse golden switch out to in. You'd assume out to in. I actually didn't even know where it was drawn last start, but it was wide and cast. Now it's drawn 1.
It was drawn 3, but got back to 9th.
Oh, that's why Twitter erupted. The sphere was very angry that day. You'd anticipate no worse than like third the fence. You'd anticipate Raf Attack leads. I lean pretty heavily towards Tom Kitten. Not suited last start, likely suited this start.
It hasn't been, it's been 7th from 11, 12th of 16, 8th of 14, and 9th of 13 in run this prep.
Yeah, I just think Group 1 intent.
Benny?
I actually think this horse can win the Derby if they go that way. No, it's
100%. So low Derby.
Yeah,
it always is.
Outlandish comment, but I've actually had something on him to win the Derby each way. I think he's a good price. As you said, I think it's quite weak. I think he'll win on Saturday, and if they go that way to the Derby, which I think they should, I think he's highly talented, and I think he can win it.
Perfect. All on the Tom Kitten train. All right, we'll move on to race 8, which is the Invitation Open for fillies and mares over 1,400 metres. Got a couple coming through the Everest, alcohol free, albeit well down the track, and Espiona, who wasn't too far off the winner there. Think about it. What do we think here, Rob?
It looks pretty, and again, a pretty average lot for this much money in a Group 2 race. Alcohol free was the only, I was sure it wasn't going to run well. I could have tipped it to run last week in the Everest, so that can definitely improve a lot better. Improve.
Did it look any better the start before in the Premier, from memory, or?
I can't go. I just got that Everest parade in my head at the moment. Sorry, mate. I can't flick the switch. Espiona, she's never been one of mine, but she has been going really well. I think she's probably the one to beat. I can't get on the right side of Opal Ridge. I thought it was a pretty good run the other day. 7-day backup. Paracel, I'd rather it fresh. Where else do you go? Ruthless Dame, big boom on it. Maybe Royal Merchant, maybe like they wouldn't
the Grand Big.
Oh, sorry, mate. Yeah. That's a athletic little good horse, and that was a good win the other day. So, look, I haven't even looked at the odds. So I guess it's between Espiona and Magic Time.
Just loading for me. Espiona, Magic Time, correct? Yeah, 330 for Espiona, 390 Magic Time.
Okay, well, I'm probably going to lean Magic Time at the odds, and I've never liked Espiona.
I think Espiona is flying, just like, thrown off the deep end. It's not where they wanted to go, which confuses me and grates me up a bit with Waller because he's such a traditional, historical, pattern repeating operation. So I comfortably lean towards Magic Time ahead of it. I like the wide barrier. I think she can roll forward and sort of be handy enough. This looks like its grand final, and she looks like she's got above average ability and maybe not yet reached her ceiling. So I'm comfortable with her. I suspect that's the way the market will go late too, just off the fact that this is likely grand final page filler race for it, whereas Espiona is just sort of getting thrown around everywhere now.
Benny?
Yeah, completely agree. I think they're the two. Magic Time, the horse on the way up. As you said, Jack, nice little plug there, little page filler for it. I think it can win. And Espiona back to mare's grade. They're just the two, I think.
All right.
What about Paracel, Rob, as a horse? This fourth up now. Pekin, had enough.
Looked more forward than usual for this stable. I think we backed it at its first start. Then it went to Moonee Valley, I think, and got smashed up by the good Melbourne filly.
Caulfield, Benedetta, yeah.
Oh, okay. I know it's Benedetta. I'm getting it confused.
Yeah, it didn't get
that.
smashed up by it. Like they sort of let down together, and it was
But the other one had the
more
tougher
vigor upon Benedetta's shoulders, I thought.
The other one had it had a better run than Benedetta, so it was entitled to beat it that day. So I prefer it fresh, mate. That's my opinion of that horse.
Beauty.
All right, the last race we'll have a look at Randwick is the Kincotta Chemist Calendar Presnell, whatever that is. 1,600 meter Group 2 for 3-year-olds.
I think this race used to be called the Bondi, from memory.
Richie Calendar.
Oh, the Bondi.
I think it was the Bondi.
Stingo was around that, I reckon, when they kicked it off.
There you go.
Maybe that was a Bondi beer. Can't remember. Anyway.
Arctic Glamour's in there. Was that, Jack, were you an underbidder on Arctic Glamour or just was that the horse?
Would
I don't know, but you're stressing me out now.
A bit of virtue signaling.
From where?
I think that was the one you messaged the chat when it won at Rose Hill. Was that a midweek meeting that it pissed in?
Yeah.
Is this digital one or one of our underbidden yearling ones?
Yearling.
Yeah.
Yearling.
Oh, God.
Yeah, mate, it's about probably the
How
best.
many?
It's probably the best filly in Sydney outside of Macarena, I'd say. By Frosted.
which means she's very good. She's fast by Frosted.
Yeah. But she's drawn. She's obviously the one to beat. I think she'll be better in the autumn. She's a scopy kind of filly.
Oh, say it, baby, say it.
Yeah, I can see why you liked her, Jack.
Scopy.
Sad that she's not in our colours, but yeah, she's going to get back here. So you're going to get black odds, I'm pretty sure. But other than that, again, for Group 2 and $1 million, none of the highest benchmark is 76, and that's Namesake, who I've got a little bit of time for in this race. I think it's been coming along nicely, this prep. Not sure for miles it's go, but I can't see all that much speed in this. A little pumper will maybe make it okay, but yeah, that's the horse I think can. It looks like an each way bet to be Namesake. If you look at its runs both times this prep, they've been good and it's improving.
Yeah, 185k yearling from the English Premier sale it was. I reckon it was in that sale, but it was in another sale previously, like maybe Classic or something, or Magics or something like that, and something went wrong and it got put into this sale. There was a story behind it. Full credit to Gerald Ryan for picking it up. Nice horse. It seems short enough though to me in this race. Back and Buried, do not have a bet until you've seen some evidence that Back and Buried or Midfield Buried is okay on Saturday. They're very tactical, laney tracks in Sydney, and you get a lot of evidence by race 9 to decide if that's where you'd sort of that's where you want your bets to be in run. I think, Rob, you also pushed Namesake, did you? I was just looking at the breeding stuff. I like it. They're the two I'm interested in from a betting point of view, and they're going to have very different setups here. So one's going to be worse than midfield, I think, in Namesake and off fence, and you'd anticipate Arctic Glamour sort of midfield fence. So which way is the track suiting? I'll probably decide how I'm betting. Looking forward to the race, though.
Benny, any opinion?
Not in this race, mate. Just happy to just sit back and watch.
Didn't mind the 6. Ducasse, hitting the line hard over 1400 its last 2, looking possibly for the mile. Good form around Macarena, NCAP, and Tom Kitten this prep.
Love that little flaring, man. Good.
G'day guys, we picked up another horse at Mailbag Bloodstock, and this time we're partnering and we're going to do this moving forward with Mickey Gannon, who I think is an outstanding judge and a better bloke. He's from TRA, and we've picked up Miss Uchatel.
Miss Uchatel, yeah, looks 4-year-old mare, absolutely doing her best work late. Kembla Grange last start, formerly trained by Team Hawks, now heads to Gay and Adrian, Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott for a low flying. We've seen what they've done with plenty of runners from other stables, like Hawaii 5-0, Alligator Blood. They've absolutely turned them into superstars. No certainty here, but look, she was doing her best work late from barrier 9 at that run, and she's just been ridden back, and I'd be really keen to see what Gay and Adrian can do with her a bit more forward.
Well, it'll be the first horse ever trained that didn't go forward, so yeah. I doubt we don't go forward on her. I'm really excited to have a horse with Gay and Adrian. It's our first horse in Mailbag Bloodstock that we sent that way. 2 of her 4 runs, this mare has broken the class benchmark comfortably on the puntingform.com.au data. So she's a moral to win a maiden, and we anticipate improvement with her, not just tactically, but just as she finishes a little bit more. Really, really excited. If you want to find out more, PDS pending, please contact Jono, Jono, at themailbag.com.au, and come and race a horse with me, Mickey Gannon, Mailbag Bloodstock, Gay and Adrian.
How good.
Pretty exciting stuff. Yep. Gay Waterhouse, Adrian Bott. Jono, Jono, at themailbag.com.au.
All right, let's move into the Valley.
Jack, yeah.
I'll let you decide where you want to go here.
Kick off your Saturday the right way, and back the first favourite. That name escapes me. Taunting. It looks extremely well placed. I think if it ran the same sort of race in Melbourne, it'll be like $1.80. Right now, you can get, I think, maybe $2.25, $2.50. Standby punters. I'll have a quick little peek.
225.
It's 220.
I think that's a fair price. I think it'll start. I think it'll start like $2 or shorter. There's nice horses in this race, but they're not like even our man Jesus. Shout out to the great man. Charlemagne is not really a 1,000-meter horse. You can make a case for it, no doubt. Classy JB might start 100 to 1. For Suto, they're the opportunities you hope you sort of get, but they haven't really given us one here because this is the horse that was heavily backed a couple of Fridays ago at Moonee Valley, and Blake Shin went for a gap that wasn't there and fell. Thankfully, horse and rider sound, but sometimes they'll sort of pen that horse, and they haven't here. Unflinching gets J Carr. It'll lead. Like if she's going to ride a winner, this might be the way she kicks it off. It's the perfect setup for her. I think it's the perfect horse for her. She's the perfect rider for the horse. And then Ashford Street, Benny's I think it needs a bit more rain. I think it's had 5 goes at this track for 3/3. That's it. But you can't completely pen it because it's the horse here that's dropping back in grade significantly. So, having said all that, I can sort of find chinks in everything except for Taunting, which the only chink I can sort of see is the map, and in a small field already with D Lane on board. At the moment in Victoria, I'm a D Lane Mark Zara number 1, number 2 seeds. As the prize money is sort of elevated, they've risen. And if you watch Taunting's one and only run this track and trip, it might have been a 9.55, top of my head. Anyway, about the same thing. He was half held up. He hit him once and he laid in, had to straighten him, and he still almost got there. So he cambered well at the Valley, and I think this race sets up. So, John.
All right. Benny, did you have anything to add there?
Yeah, I think Taunting's the one. Too short for me. Look, D Lane tick, Mick Hickmott tick. Travelled his horses over well. He's got a big opinion of this horse. Early on, thought it was the best horse he'd had. They paid a bit of money for it. Sets up well for it. I just think there's a bit of speed. Like a horse like Ashford Street could pop up back in grade. And I think Fasudo is the one that could claim him late. But Taunting's on top, but I'm not betting.
All right. Anything worth talking about in the Inglis Banner or unraced?
Yeah, there is.
Good
Buy my
luck.
product. It's $200 a week, but that's extreme value. Lindsay's found one. We've bet.
All right. Keep that for the.
I said Linz. I said my man. I said, come on, Peter Pan. It's time to grow up. Take yourself seriously. You are the king. We need a 2-year-old tip. Find one off it. There's absolutely no race form in this race. And he said, you know what? You're right. You're right. And he found one. And he's got an endless amount. And I'm very, very excited. I love this race at the Valley. It's chaos. Big fields, 2-year-olds. Can they corner? Can they not?
It's going to be on this
It's
race.
high risk.
It's going to be on.
I reckon you never know, but I swear I remember this McAvoy horse once and it like crabbed around the corner, but it was one of the nicest horses I've ever seen, Rob. And it just flattened it forever. It never bounced through it.
I reckon there's a horse that was I love this horse, Fontaton. Then when it won this race.
Yeah, we've got a relation to that.
Is it Manhattan View that's related to that?
Is it?
Yeah.
It was a nice horse, Fontaton.
Shout out to Robbie.
Another one that went a miss.
The next one, poor thing. The next one we're going to talk about is let's go to. You back in Whistler last, Benny? Can it do the Hattie?
Best of the day.
Best of the day.
Yeah.
Big boy shit. What price did it start?
I think it'll shorten. I think it'll start around close to $2, $2.20. I think they'll come for it late. The big syndicates on speed.
Which horse you're worried about? Which other horses? Does anything scare you here?
That's the thing. Not really. Like I can't see. She's tough. She races on speed. She'll be rock hard fit now. I think other horses in this race. Soul Choice is going to go forward, run along, but like Whistler can sit off her and beat her. I just don't. Macarena, O'Brien Camp Flying. It's probably one to watch. Riverina Cyclone. Yeah. No, I think it's just a bet. Toppy goes okay.
Dazzling
third
Lucy,
up.
Yo-Yo, Riverina Cyclone, cheeky little jump out between runs.
Yeah,
Osmos would have cost a bomb. They imported it. Needs to deliver something. Gay to Melbourne, 54 kilos. She's given them weight. El Fran
Lane.
Hayes. Elf Franchias.
El Francais.
Where are you getting L from? It's
En Francais. En Francais.
Been a long couple of months. This horse started and was nibbled in a Group 2 at the Valley. So there's been it looks like there's been support, but maybe the traders at the Green Cafe just went up a little bit too big. But I thought it's a horse, if it starts with a 4 in front of it and you're on, Whistler Lass at like 250 and it's starting 290 the fair, it's going to be a grim.
You can chop.
1,200 meters, you know what I mean? But I agree. It does look the one to beat. Yeah,
Rob, you got any opinion? The Lassophile, Soul Choice, Osmos?
No, I'm not sure the Lassophile's going as well as she can. I almost jumped out of my chair when I saw Maracana. Thought it was Macarena, but it's Maracana.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wishlaw Lass seems to be a very, very honest horse, and probably suited at the weights.
Yeah, I just think that they could have gone for something a bit harder than this, and they've taken their medicine, tick another race off, and then find something a bit tougher, maybe Cup Week or something like that. I think this will just be another tick on the way through.
Soul Choice, I did. It was race 10 when it ran the other day, but I couldn't find it. So yeah, I'll be surprised if the Sydney horses win.
Barbie's Wishlaw Lass, that's the Barbie's Fox, looked to have it on toast sort of halfway down the straight or
stuff. Really fought on. Pissed in the start prior at Sandown. Yeah, it's a mare in form.
She strikes me like a valley horse.
Shouldn't hurt, I agreed. Race 4, bets galore, but that's for the preview tonight. Race 5, John.
Get to the best race on the card, is it?
Okay, punters. Benny, if you got a speed map here, any opinions, any thoughts at all?
Not really. I think we'll go close to leading, won't we?
Well, we won't, completely show our hand here. Also, we have D. Oliver, the goat, steering, so it's not like he's going to go, hey, how do you want me to ride it? He's just going to do his thing. Yeah.
I think they'll take the bull by the horns with Antino and go forward. That's the only thing that I think will change from its map in the last couple of runs. I think they'll go forward. Be shit.
Prowess, John, Mustang Valley. Talk to me, baby.
Mustang Valley looks like it needs a much wetter track. It was okay in the Group 1 here last time, but that was on a firm track. Won a Group 1 before that on a heavy. I'd lean that it needs wetter. And Prowess would have its measure comfortably, I think, definitely on a drier track. Prowess, I don't know if it's come back as good as it was going last prep. Couldn't get past just an average one, I thought, at Harwetta, and it's had a few issues this time as well.
Did she look to dip a bit on the turn? I think that sort of cost her that race.
Yeah, they were all swooping down the outside though, so I thought she had her chance to get past it. But
she had her chance.
They've had a few issues with her. I think they say she's fine now, but I don't think she's going as well as she was last prep when she won the Vinery at Rose Hill.
Look, I think Antino is going to be extremely hard to beat and must be respected. Disappointed, to be honest, we run into it, but a phenomenal test for our horse, Just Folk. This race is often a lot weaker than this. Antino was a whisker away from the Group 1 two-rack last start. Tuvalu's a Group 1 horse. I think Tuvalu will roll forward. Don't know what they do with Antino. I don't know what we'll do because it's up to Ollie. Small field already. Really excited to get there. Watch our horse run in the Group 2. Very, very exciting. He's improved. His track work on Tuesday, John, was outstanding. We go there excited, but aware of how tough this race is. It'll just be another race for us, and onwards and upwards with Just Folk. Antino very hard to beat. Should we go to the 2 Group 1 now? Group Ones now.
Mm-hmm.
IME, Rob, talk to me about IME.
Yeah, she's a strong mare, bright, parades bright and sharp, often with two handlers. She goes pretty quick up front. She looked really forward when she won first up at Rose Hill, and yeah, she looked good the other day.
Suited to the Valley?
Well, you'd think so with her. She generally leads, which is usually a good thing at the Valley.
I'm with you. The Inferno's going well, had a nice little tick over. I think it might be a 1,000-meter horse, though, and a Valley horse, which makes it hard to win because you get back at 1,000 at the Valley, it's not easy to do unless you are like one of the great sprinters of all time, which it happens to race against here. You could make this horse $1.10, I think. She is a freak. She is like an absolute hooner at this track. She's got way past 1,200 before, so the step up in trips just not a thing. They are operating at one of the highest levels of all time. I reckon this operation, their move to Melbourne's couldn't have started any better. Their placement, outstanding. But whatever happens, like if you're judging them for running in Everest or not running Everest, like they're going to start $1.40 in a Group 1 again. So I think as like a connection, they've done a really good job. I think she's a phenomenal horse and makes the race almost unbettable. I suspect she anchors a lot of people's multis, and I think you're entitled to put her in. The only chink she has is drawing wide and getting back in a fat field, but not a suicide speed. It just looks. I can't find a reason to get around it, and I often try and get around these sort of horses to get back. I think there's genuine speed with Iron War, Jigsaw, Iron War, and IME. Good luck, Matty Hill. Uncommon James will sort of sit in the middle there with Buenos Noches and Imperatrice, and the Inferno will just tag Imperatrice, and I don't think he'll see which way she goes, and he'll run a nice race, but bullish. It's also race 8, so this is the 16th race on this track, likely the same rail position. They might move it out 2-5 meters, but still, like it should be as much of an advantage to get off fence at this stage of the 24-hour spectacle it is the Moonee Valley Cox Plate Carnival as any time. So I just think she's going to be fucking hard to beat, and looking forward to watching it.
Perfect.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. Cool. Nah, she's just a freak, mate. She's exactly what Jack says.
Yeah.
I think they're going to go quick enough. They're not going to go breakneck, so it's not going to be strung out, which I think will suit her. She can just camp in behind. Like, obviously, she's going to be at the back. She can just camp, tack on, go whoosh. She's a freak.
And I also, just on top of it, amazed with how well she's gone, considering the brutal run that she had first up. That was just too fast and brought undone Gigi. I mean, I can't believe Willow did that, and it's obviously turned out to be an awful tempo.
On Tuesday?
No, but just shout out to him.
She's just a bomb.
Cox Plate.
Congratulations. I am me in there for I am War rather to pick up 40,000 for 7th.
Full credit
on your Matty Hill.
I know a joint that picked up 50k for running last or second last, third last in All-Star Mile, so I get it. Great work. Rob, Cox Plate. This is, I think, as good a Cox Plate as I've ever seen. I love it. It's very, very fat field. There's a nice couple of juicy. There's more than one juicy angle. You got King Colorado, Brightside, militarized, and to a lesser extent, Alligator Blood. But you've also seen Oberon and Zaki recently. Talk to us.
Oberon ran third in the King Charles. Looks super. You can see where it's lining up here. Mr. Brightside walked around with good condition. Pretty as you'd want a horse like that. Maybe is a little bit of improvement. I caught a bit of .com. They said the horse just didn't like the good 2 track up in Sydney, which it probably was because they were running really, really quick times, and he didn't look to, he didn't look anything like the horse he was in Melbourne. So I'm keen to forgive him. He's never really been one of my horses, but he's always been lovely looker. What was the other one? Fangirl.
Zaki.
Yeah, old boy's trading super, going well. Not sure if he's quite as good as he's getting on now. Fangirl, we're back to the 2 starts in Sydney. I'm not sure 2000 to go. I think she's more of a miler, and if this is a traditionally hard run 2000, that's my issue. I guess people would say the same thing about Mr. Brightside, but great race. Right now, I think Mr. Brightside's improved this prep, and if he can forgive a good horse one run, I think he goes pretty well at the Valley. He's drawn to get a pretty economical run here, and if he gets the breaks at the time, should be able to go pretty well.
Benny?
Yeah, I think what a cracking race. There's 2 that I've had a bet, and I think are over the odds, or one's definitely over the odds. One's about right price, but I think it might explode. The one, Romantic Warrior, it'll improve 4 lengths this horse off its Turnbull run. I thought it stuck on quite well. I think everyone was expecting it to win. There was obviously talk about its feet. And the horse wasn't right. Horses that aren't right, they're not at their peak. They don't run well. And this horse stuck on quite well in a hot race. Was entitled to drop out. I think he was really good. Improves here. I think he could explode on Saturday. And then the other one I'm going to back each way is Victoria Road. One thing with this horse, he's been all around the world, America, Ireland, France. He travels. 3-year-old, lightweight, best trainer in the world, Blake Sheehan. $12. Thank you very much each way. I think you can win.
John, what did you think of the Cox Plate, mate?
Old Trip. I thought he was pretty good in the Caulfield Cup. He just he couldn't quite quicken into that.
Pretty good.
Needed. Huh?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It was huge.
Absolutely outstanding.
There you go. Gold Trip.
I like Gold Trip. Valley. I think he's had 2 goes at the Valley off the top of my head where he's just savaged the line hard. He'll need a few things to go his way, but you're going to get a price that's fair to find out. I love Militarized here. I reckon this is grand final for this horse, and I think it was all along. 49.5 kilos. Zach Lloyd scares the shit out of me, but this horse is proper, and just 49.5 kilos. A decent.
It's got to be positive.
An okay 3-year-old can win this race. A 3-year-old can almost win this race and doesn't really do a lot else in its career. Then you got a horse like Animo that was a freak, and he won it once. He should have won it twice. This horse might be as good a back end career as Animo, and here he is. I think he's a simple bet to have. And I will not be losing on a Romantic Warrior. I think the Turnbull's the right form reference. He was enormous in that. You got the best rider, got a soft barrel, the perfect barriers to blend in. He'll be in the 1-1, I reckon. Or if it's too slow, he'll go forward. I think Brightside will beat home Alligator Blood. I think Alligator Blood is now priced off like its last start win, which was good, but it was against nothing. I wouldn't be surprised, honest to God, if any horse won, which is why this race is the best race every year. I wouldn't even be surprised, boys, if Pinstripe run enormous. I just think Barrel Evans crucified
he's flying that horse. Absolutely.
Yeah, if he drew 7 and could be like second last pair or third last pair one off instead of he'll be right out the back. But I think he's flying. I've always thought he's a Group 1 horse, but there's Group 1s and there's Group 1s and then there's Cox Plate. So, and then there's even like Duas for Edward Cummings and the GOAT. I mean, it's drawn barrier 1. Ollie's riding aggressive at the moment. It'll need luck, but if it gets it, geez, it's going pretty good as well. Sort of trained differently. You'd suspect this time, Rob, like versus the sort of traditional get the K's in the legs set up when they were sort of planning to be sharper at a 2,000-meter trip. So, even King Colorado, I'm not a fan of the horse, but you're going to start to now get fair prices for it to run around. And I just think barrier 10, Mickey D, what's going to happen there. You're going back. Whereas Militarized from barrier 3, a very, very exciting setup.
I'm not
I do
sure.
have a lean, though, just to be honest, to the 3-year-olds,
I'm
always.
not sure 3-year-olds are any good.
Yeah, I know, but they have to be that good. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, well, yeah. Okay, yeah.
like they're good. They're good horses, but they don't have to be like elite horses.
Yeah. Well, Zababil was he got beaten the Derby next start.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like they don't have to be winks. They're just good. Whereas some of these horses we're thinking like Gold Trip's, like if Gold Trip wins this and then goes to the Melbourne Cup, all of a sudden he's in the Hall of Fame. So phenomenal race. I reckon they'll do us from Moonee Valley.
Yep.
John, let's go to Kiwiland, find one.
Yeah, lovely. Going to the Group 2 Soliloquy Stakes at Pukekohe, race 8, 1,400 metres for fillies looking to go to the 1,000 guinea. We have Celine Gaudray over here riding on Saturday at Pukekohe. But I'm not backing her. She's on the second favourite Luberon, who looks hard to beat. I'm backing a $14 shot. Glamour Tycoon.
He's starting to get wobbly. So we need to put a finish date, Rob, on the pot championship. So let's make it that end of November, I was saying. Got to the end of November, because I was basically what's going to happen is this horse will lose. We'll run second or third. Be a great bet, great tip each way. Next week, Rob, you and me are sort of trying to find $2 shots, and Jono's looking for $30 shots, and so on and so forth.
Anyway, it's the only maiden that'll make the field, but it has been running very well against the top tier, and I think it should be able to slot in midfield, whereas the favourite's drawn 1 gets back. Don't want to be anywhere near it. So that's my best bet. Glamour Tycoon, race 8, number 14. Best bet, Benny, was yours Wish Law Lass? Is that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wish Law Lass. Yep.
Cool.
That's the one. She'll win.
I'll go Taunting, race 1, Moonee Valley, Saturday.
Perfect. Roberto?
I probably should stick in the $2 to $4 range, but I'm not going to.
What's he doing?
I'm
going Brightside.
No, well, that was it. I was going to do Brightside or Namesake in the Bondi. But I'll go with Brightside just so I have that extra bit of
juice.
If it wins. Yeah, Mr. Brightside for me in the Cox Plate. Get a lovely run. The horse is flying, softer track. It could if he just progressed like he was before the Sydney run.
100%. Yeah.
He's the one to beat.
Also, some of the boys in that horse are in horses with us, and they don't like it if I tip it. So I've got to say, I don't think it'll win. They like it when I do that. Stops it, but it helps it.
All right.
Well, mate.
I was just going to say, where's it going to be in the run?
Going to go phenomenal run. I do think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have taken barrier 2. They had barrier 2 or barrier 7 when they were drawing. Yeah. Like this is now the 17th race on this track. I'd be taking barrier 7 every day of the week.